Welcome back. This is Steve Rand. I'm Joe Elkier. This is the Gold Spot. Steve, 2025 is off to a very exciting start. Lots of change on the horizon. Big news and changes starting next week. Last week, we kind of touched on the idea of where the gold market was heading. This week, we're going to focus a little bit more on silver. Our silver bug should really take interest in this. Lots of exciting things. Media isn't hinting at it too much, but there's a lot of things that are brewing that could really impact supply and demand in the silver market. Not to mention commodities are at a 14-year high. So can you give us a little insight on potentially what we could see unfold this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's the normal industrial demand, the green energy demand, the military applications, and all the normal things we hear about that are certainly going to be able to ramp up and really put a lot of strain on the silver supply this year. But something that we're seeing about now, and Daniel Galley, the senior commodity trader at TD Securities, actually put out a great article this week and talked about some of the things that are happening right now that most people aren't hearing about, like you mentioned, and that's some of the problems that are going on with potential tariffs or universal tariffs on precious metals, which isn't something we've seen much in the past, but is really a concern in the industry right now that's going to happen. And because of that, a lot of metals being brought back into the United States right now from London and some of the other major exchanges around the world. And what they're worried about is that down the road, there's going to be some tariffs on precious metals, and that's going to create a lot more demand for product, obviously, but it's going to create potentials for delays of delivery, some large premiums on products as people can't get things into the States, and then what those tariffs could do to the price of those. So that's could drive the price of silver up dramatically this year alone. And we're seeing forecasts as I've seen $40 and beyond. I know you're going to touch on that in a moment, but this is something that we haven't really run across in the past. And now that these tariffs are a real kind of a threat to some extent to our industry and of course around the world on different products, this is something we haven't really discussed, and it's something we really need to talk about. Those forecasts that we're seeing this year are coming from a lot of different sources. Maybe you can touch on some of those.
Yeah, a lot of the experts out there are kind of referencing back to what we saw with the copper market and the platinum market, and really just supply and demand driven things. Most experts have revised their predictions to the upside. Citibank revised theirs up from 38 to 40. TD Securities, who you mentioned, really emphasizes the massive deficit in the silver market, and their projections at the $40 mark. JP Morgan is at $38. B of A is at $35, which I think is very conservative. And you also mentioned the London Bank, the Bullion Association, the Market Association, and the news coming out of their price projection, which I think is very telling, just because of their dependence on the bullion market. They're projecting $45. So I think it's going to be a very big year for silver as far as the potential that's there. A lot of our silver stackers kind of been waiting for something like this. But with the massive moves we've seen over the last couple years in metals, this could be a very big year for silver.
Certainly is. Definitely check out our silver report here on our website. And remember, we've got a new poll out that we're trying to get your opinion on what's happening with the silver market as well, and the gold market also. So check it out, and we'll see you next time on the Gold Spot.
If you enjoyed today's Gold Spot, like or subscribe to both our YouTube and Rumble channels. Also, comment below if you have any questions or if you'd like to hear us talk about a specific topic in a future video.